Hi kids, welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be showing you how to comp in a planet into the sky like this. You can use this for other things. I'm just showing you the basic concept. And it's just a 2D track. There isn't anything really complicated to do at all. Anytime you have a simple shot that's almost tripod or kind of handheld like this, you can use this technique. Let's go. As you can see, I'm using 3.3.2, which I think is the long-term stable version of Blender, and it's probably the one I'm going to be using on most of these videos from here on out, unless there's something really cool in one of the newer ones. So, VFX. I'm going to be going through this pretty quick. We open a clip, and we do set scene frames, hit prefetch, and down here on this footage saying it shows that we've got 1080p footage and 29.97 frame rate output properties, and change my frame rate to 2997. Now we're ready to go. So in Movie Clip Editor, which is what this window type is, if I hold down Control and left click, it puts a tracker on there. And I'm putting them on these light poles because they're the farthest thing out and the furthest thing side to side that I know aren't going to move during the shot. You know, these trees, if wind blows, they're going to shift the track. So it's not good to track on trees if you can avoid it. Unless you know it was a dead calm day. Now hit track. Bam. Tracks them. Done. Nothing else to do. Now we don't have to do any of this solving thing or any of that because we're not doing that kind of track. We're just tracking the motion. So I'm going to go to stabilization because this is how you use these tracks that we just got. Oh, by the way, let me show you how you check the tracks. I select one, and in that track window, there it is, I just scrub the timeline back and forth and watch that window. And if it stays on track, well, there it is. You got it. And now I'll go to the other one. Same thing. And they're both, as you can see, solid. Now go to stabilization and turn on 2D stabilization. I go to frame 1. Select the marker you want to add. In this case, I'm using that left one. And add it. Now I'm going to hit rotation. That opens up a new one. Now I select the other tracker I want to add and add it. Now it's got those two tracks. If I go into clip display and hit show stable and then play it, you'll see how that the clip actually slides around to keep the image in one place. It's using the information of how the image moved on the video, and it's doing the opposite of that to get to slide the clip around so that the image stays in the same place. Okay, it's good. You have to understand that for what's coming next. What's coming next is throwing a planet into the sky. So first, we're going to change this to the compositor editor. We're going to use nodes. We're going to hit N. To get rid of that right-hand menu, we're going to select render layers, which we're not using. Hit X to get rid of that. This is the composite node. And I need to add a output, a viewer node there. And for my own preference, I add a reroute node because the composite node sends things to the renderer, and the layout node, the viewer node, sends things to this screen right here. So this lets us see what we're doing, and this lets us put out what we're doing. So since you have to have everything hooked up to both of them all the time, I just put one of these here so that I don't have to keep remembering to hook up to both of them all the time. I can just hook up to that. Now I want to bring in my movie clip. I get input, movie clip. And all I have to do is pick it off this list because it's already loaded in. Then if I shove that over here, bang, Oh, it doesn't come up because it has to be rendered. Okay, now it's been rendered. Still not coming up. Oh, I'm an idiot. You have to turn on backdrop. Okay. Now V is how you adjust that background. Alt V makes it bigger. V makes it smaller. And that's fine right there. Now if I jump around, you'll see that the clip updates, but you can't watch it real time. Let's get a planet. I'm going to go for image. Image I want is in that same folder where we got this movie. Because, you know, I plan things ahead. There's my image. And I'm just going to add in a color mix node right there. Everything goes white. We'll change it to add. And then put the planet in instead of that white color. And voila, planet's in there. Next step, we want that planet to be where we want it to be, which is not where it is right now. So I'm going to add a distort node, transform, and I need 2 of those. So I'm going to put a copy over there, and you'll see what I'm going to do with that one in a minute. But first I'll put this here, and I'm going to put that planet where I want it. X moves it side to side. Y moves it up and down. I just want to get it up in the air. And what I'm looking at this point is, look at these trees. Look at the way the sunlight's hitting these trees. I think pretty sure this was fairly early in the morning, so it's low sun. So we want this shadow to match that because ostensibly the same sun is lighting both of these planets. So that's a little too... it doesn't look too bad, actually. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it there. Let's just start shrinking it down by hitting scale. Although I do want to make it a little bit bigger, because I want it to go off the top of the screen. That makes it look bigger. For some reason I decided that. I don't know if it's true. Okay, move that up a little higher. Over to the left. I want to move it as close, but not touching that light pole. Why not touching? Because I don't want to deal with matting on this particular lesson. I'm just showing you how to get the general tracking done. Okay, there it is. It's nice. Great. Except there's a problem, which is, watch as I go through the clip. You see how the image moves around, but the planet does not, which would make it very crappy looking if we tried to use it. So what we got to do is get that planet to move just the same way the clip is moving. And we already know how to do that. We use the 2D stabilization, but the 2D stabilization moves the clip in the opposite direction. It's trying to compensate for the motion. And we want the planet to move in the same direction that the motion on the clip moves. Now, those opposite things, the stabilization, is present for us right here, since we did the tracking, on the offset X, Y, scale, and angle. Well, I don't think I had the scale turned on, so we're not using that. But we got the X, Y, angle, but they are the opposite. So if we take these and use them to control the planet is going to move in the opposite direction, and it's going to screw everything up. We want it to move in the same direction. So the way we do that is we'll grab this transform, which is setting over here. And by the way, I'm changing both of these to bicubic. It looks better. And we'll take the X, stick it into the X. The Y, you can figure out the rest, goes into the Y. And the angle goes into the angle. So math node. And I'm going to put in multiply. Now put a -1 down here. Okay. Yeah. Then I can close this up because I don't need to look at it. I'm going to put it on the X. Shift D, put it on the Y, Shift D, and then put that. Now we've got, oh, didn't want all that. Now we've got those, converting those. So now if we clip around, you'll see the planet moves with the motion of the thing, and everything is right in the world. Now as a little bonus, I'm just going to make the planet look a little prettier. Hue, saturation, value. I said I want to do this fast, but it's also just fun. So now let's turn the saturation up. There you go. That makes it more visually interesting. Then start messing with the hue. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I don't dislike that. Oh, one of the things I'm doing is I am adding. Oh, I like that. That's kind of pretty. Maybe the saturation is a little too high on that. And I'm still adding this in, right? I think I want to change that to screen because it's blowing out by being added in. That's what's happening. Okay, there you go.